Welcome to the garden. Today I'm going to show you how to use the juice, the zest, the seeds, and even the leaves of lemon. So the first thing I've done is given this a really good wash, because all these little pockets is where the lemon oil is going to be. And to zest it, we're going to use this little microplane, and it goes really well with blueberries. The flavors really complement each other. Pick a good spot on the microplane, and we just want the yellow part. Once it turns white, it starts to get a little bitter, so we're just going to grind the yellow. And you could do the entire fruit like this, because once you've juiced it, it's going to be really a little tricky to zest, so we want to do this right away. Got all this beautiful zest. There's so much flavor in here. So this goes great with blueberry muffins or smoothies or even a little bit of yogurt. Really complements the flavors of the blueberry nicely. Look at that. Such a beautiful fruit. It has these little cells, and that's where all the juice is going to be. So you can microwave your lemon before you're going to juice it, and that does a couple different things. It softens the fruit, and it breaks these little cells, which is where all that beautiful juice is. As long as you don't mind picking out some seeds, you can just give it a squeeze. And this really lightens up a hummus, makes it really, really flavorful. Just incredible combination. So this is one of my favorite things to do with lemon juice. Beautiful consistency, has an incredibly light citrusy flavor. Today we're after some of these seeds to try and grow in the garden. You want to pick out the largest ones. Try not to damage them too much. They're going to be mostly in the center. So I'm going to cut a few slices here and see if we can find a couple more. Yeah, there's a good one. And these have a little leathery coating on them. And you can peel that off or leave it on, it doesn't really matter. Peeling it off might increase the speed at which they germinate, but not by much. Well, I cut one in half there. So that one's no good. But we've got quite a few viable seeds in here. Just have to poke around. And if you're going to juice the whole lemon, it'll be really easy to find them. You just want to get your little strainer. Otherwise they can end up in the food. And then right at the center, I'll just drive this in. You can see all the seeds coming out. Work this around. This tool is so amazing. You can provide just the right amount of pressure in the right spot. Give it a little turn, and you get tons of amazing lemon juice. But don't throw out these rinds. You can grind them up in your disposal, and they provide a really nice scent, and they'll even loosen up any clogged bits on the blade. And the oil can actually be used to polish wood. So this wood is really kind of bleached from the juice, because the juices really are strongly acidic. There's tons of that ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, and citric acid, but the oils actually can sort of seal the wood and polish it up really nicely. But you can take some juice and it'll actually bleach your hair. You can just like run it through your hair and give yourself little highlights, which is kind of cool. But now we're going to take our seeds, and I'm going to try and show you that you can strip off the casing. But you should only need your fingernails. This is a lot easier if you let them dry for a couple hours. They won't be so slippery. Just like that. So that's what they look like without the shell. They kind of have a little point and a little darker end. So these we can possibly sprout on a paper towel, or you could just try them in some moist soil. But this is really simple. I'm just going to fold this in half and slide it into our plastic bag, just like this. Fits perfectly. And then keep these moist. I'm going to use a little spray bottle. We don't want these sopping wet, and I actually like to keep it open to let it breathe. Just keep an eye out for mold and things. We'll keep them warm and hopefully they'll germinate for us. But the kind of soil you use is fairly important. Citrus are an evergreen, so they're basically like a succulent. So they like really dry, well-draining mixes. So if you're going to plant them in soil, you want something with maybe a lot of perlite, something with maybe a little sand. You could also go out and buy a citrus mix. They make blends that are cactus or citrus mixes specifically. But you should just be able to pop your seed in no more than an inch. It's usually a good idea to bury the seeds as deep as they are tall. So on the lemon, that's about 1 centimeter down. Give this a good drink, keep it really nice and warm, and with any luck, you'll get a little plant. So this one's been growing indoors for maybe a year, so it's really not exceptional. If you really wanted vigorous growth, you could plant it outside, where it's going to really do well. I've planted a few outdoors, and they just go really thick. They grow really tall and fast. But these leaves are beautiful. They have the same pockets of oil that the lemons do themselves, so you can actually use these leaves for cooking. I've made a little tea out of these leaves today. So I've had it steeping for a few minutes. So let's give it a taste now. It's very subtle. The leaves always remind me of artificial grape. So if you break one open and give it a smell, they have a really fruity, artificial grape kind of flavor. But you can use these like a bay leaf. You don't want to eat the leaf itself, but if you toss it into your food, it'll add a little bit of flavor, and then you just want to fish it out once you're done. With any luck, your seeds will sprout into a beautiful little lemon tree. They do take a while to grow, but they get quite large, and maybe someday you'll even get your own fruit. So I hope you give this a grow. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.